everybody. If you just joined the stream right now, or you're watching this on video on demand, hit me up if you ever need any replays reviewed. Send me the code to your replays. Send me the code to your profile. I got some replays to review today from a Terry player that needed some help. So if you're watching this either in real time or in the future, I'm here to help. I don't gotta pay nothing for this. Just ask for help and I'm down to help. Right now, I'm just hate watching some battle hub, seeing what these people are taking world to see if anyone's going to join the stream in the meantime before I go into the replays. Battle hub, riddled with Ryus. I don't gotta surprise anybody. Although honestly, even though I like to rip on Ryu and Ryu players for getting all these buffs, I'll be real with you. The fact that he's still kind of like a predictable character that we've fought for like the history of fighting games, he's not as obnoxious to fight as, you know, some other people. So let's just see. Well, close your eyes, kids. There's some my avatars floating around. Let's go into some of these replays and see if anyone needs help with anything. So what's up, Halcyon? I hope you said your name right. Yeah, I got videos for you. No, I can do some reviews, no problem. Let me go through some of the ones that were requested earlier, and I got you as well. But actually, since you're on the thing, let me go through you first, just in case the other people can watch theirs on video on demand. I don't want to waste too much of your time as well. So let's go through it. Anything while I'm searching for your gamer tag and stuff that you think that you need to improve on, any specific matchup you want me to look at, I can definitely try to help out. Hey RB, how are you, man? Thanks for joining. This is one of the issues of playing on PS5. Typing is complete ass tier. I should honestly invest in one of these PlayStation keyboards. Alright, man. I don't know how much I can teach you. You're already master with a lot of LP points, so I'm happy to try to help, but let's go into some of these right now. Stuck at 1200 MR. Yeah, we can work on that. 1200 MR, you're still a super good player, man. So let's just see where we can go. First match, I'll look at this Ryu matchup. Like I said earlier when the stream started, tons of Ryus everywhere. We're going to run into them a lot, so it's good we know these matchups. So I'll look at some of your replays, some of your wins as well. It's always good to look at our wins as well, because there's so many learning opportunities in those. There's different situations that come up. If we only focus on the losses, you know, what's the fun of that in life, right? Any rank match? Okay, after this, let's see if we got some rank matches, and I'll go through it. Alright. Right off the bat, you had so many punishes to do, or to do on your opponent, and I will say, anything that starts with a hard kick or a fierce punch punish is good in my opinion. So over here, you could start off with this, you know, fierce kick into this target combo. You can go into the variations where, you know, there's fierce punches after. Over here, I got no issue with anything. Oh, I controlled the wrong player. So what you did here, you went for the target combo. Nothing wrong with this. It's 3,000 damage right off the bat. You can also, if you want to do more corner carry, do the fierce punch version of this combo if that's what you want as well. Or if you really want to swag into the drive rush versions of it. But the thing is, no issue here. You did something that did over 30%, and that's a great start. So let's go from there. And the Ryu player probably wanted to do a walk-up fireball, but he got the DP motion, so happens to everybody, especially in this game with input buffer. So yeah, over here, you got checked when you did the DI, but you know what? You have to do it sometimes to see if your opponent has the reactions for it. Sometimes, you know, in a quick first 2 sets in rank, you gotta throw everything you have. So he checked you there, and it's just one of those things you just gotta keep in mind for next time. So just going through some of these right now. The Ryu did kind of like a get off me. He wants you to go further away. Yep. And I get it. Once Ryus have these Genjin fireballs unlocked, like, we're going to want to try to jump from further away to try to get away from it. But he'll still be able to clip you with some of the fireballs. So over here, I'll be honest, this match, it just seemed like he got hit by a lot of things. And sometimes that's going to happen in the first round of something. So you just want to make sure that you make that adjustment to say that, hey, you know, my opponent's actually hitting me with some DP. He checked my drive rush, or sorry, my drive impact, and I might have to slow it down a bit over here. Okay, great combo. He's going to the quick burn. This is totally fine. You continuing the pressure over here is good, in my opinion, because yes, you lost the situation over here. But guess what? Your opponent has less than 2 bars, so if you gambled right and then they still did the EXDP, now they're burnt out, which should be a big advantage for Terry. Alright, good kickback. So again over here, I guarantee this is not what you wanted to do. Like sometimes this just happens where we hit too many buttons at the same time after this target combo. I don't have to show you all the routes because I'm sure you know ad nauseum what they are. But we know that drive impact comes out. Just want to keep that in mind for next time. But over here, this happens a lot. We want to hit them into that wall so badly. Like you see over there, we want to hit them with that drive impact. We want them to get that stun. But we have to take advantage of things like, if your opponent knows they're burnt out, when they're in the animal, when they're in the corner, they are a caged animal. Like, they are going to want to do things like jumping out. Like, see, this guy on this replay is going to be jumping back. You just want to control the space, so if he ever does jump forward, you can control it with the uppercut, you can control it with the crouch fierce. But you just want to keep them in the corner. You know, pressure them with some fireballs, because if they block it, you know, they're going to be taking chip damage. You're going to be plus because you're going to be in their burnout state. But also because Terry's got things like his EX crash shoots hit higher now, his EX burn knuckle. Like, you can try working on timing to catching them out of the air with these types of moves. Like, anything to control that space, control that gap. If you know they're going to jump, try to get them with an air to air. But really try to keep a burnt out opponent in this burnout timer as long as you can. You see, if I pause the screen right now and you look at the top, when they're empty, it takes a long time for them to go back unless they get hits on you. So if you just let them keep jumping in the corner and running back, you know, you got more time to think about what you can do in the corner. So that game, I think it's just going to come down to just slowing it down a bit. But it's obvious you know what to do in a lot of situations. It just either would come down to like a panic execution, like on that target combo into the EX wall dive, and just maybe not jumping in as much or doing like a crazy jump in, and then that should help you slow down those matchups. But you said you want me to check some rank. Let me see if I can find some rank on this. All right. I'll do a ranked you won, and then I'll do a rank that you lost as well. So let's start off with a win. And we'll do a win against someone like Ken. Nobody likes Ken. I'm joking. Ken is a classic. We all gotta love him. The sound is echoing? Okay, good call. Let me see how I can turn that off. Don't expect me to be a pushover. Thanks a lot for the feedback. Thanks for loving my channel too, man. Let me see if this will take care of the sound issue. So let me know. Alright, great start right away. Yes, Dexters, it is. And thank you earlier. I think you're the one that gave me a lot of feedback on some of the replay buttons available. So thanks for that. So in this match over here, I will say you started off great, but it's just one of those things where, yeah, you got caught with a jump in. You want to check out your opponent's anti-air. You win for a wake-up DP. Nothing wrong with that either. Sometimes you got to see if they're going to, you know, walk into it. But in situations like this, after the setup, I don't think that heavy punch burning knuckle would hit. And this kind of lets your opponent get started. So there's going to be times where we're going to want to throw things out, like medium burning knuckle. You want to get in. But you don't want to just give out that free damage that they're going to start getting the party started themselves, because you're in pretty good control on that. So as you go forward, you know, your opponent missed the uppercut. Still get the echo? Hold on, let me see. You're saving my life here, Lemmings. Thank you. Let me know if this is better now. Okay, I know, yes, this wasn't the optimal combo, but some damage is better than no damage. So in this situation, I didn't even know that was possible, so I'm feeling that if I'm going to swag on somebody. But just go into a replay takeover, replay the situation at how far you knock Ken into the corner, and then from there, just work on the best combos that are available. So in this situation, I would just switch to player control, and then you're player one in this situation, and I just would go through everything. Okay, so my stand medium punch will hit, which means I can go into the heavy round wave, and then after the heavy round wave, I'm gonna see if I can combo more things off of that. But it's not always gonna be what does the most damage. Sometimes it's what does the best follow-up that can be, you know, more advantageous to us. So go into this, even see if there's ways that, you know, you can set up like a level 1 after. Try to see the most damage you can get, because this is not going to be the only time you're ever going to be in this situation. Sometimes it's going to be for a kill, sometimes it's going to be for a Hail Mary play. You just have to make sure that, you know, you're ready to see that, hey, look, I can do more damage. Yes, I was supposed to do a level 3, not knowing I didn't have a level 3 on me. But just know that the parry, once you knock them into the wall, you can do tons of things, and just make sure you pick the right situation, or sorry, the right option for the right situation. The game has an echo. Maybe this has this fixed it? Honestly, thank you to everyone giving the feedback and not just calling me a jackass that doesn't know anything about technology, which is also accurate. I am very slow when it comes to technology, so thank you. If you're using OBS, okay, I did mute one on OBS, so let me know if it works. Your voice sounds good. Oh, you're gonna make me blush. Alright, in this, I like that you're still doing bully ball on him. In this situation, you have such a big life lead. It's okay to, you know, keep that pressure going. Again, good punish over here. I respect it. Going for the quick burn ender. You go for the grab, and you just play straight bully ball. When you have the life lead, you're able to do it. If Ken wakes up and does a level 3, obviously that's the worst case scenario. No one wants to get hit by that. Just know that you can still come out and win, and they don't have a level 3 for the next round. Thanks, Lemmings. Y'all are saving my day today. Alright, good counter hit combo over here. Brother, you don't need my help. That was like the best thing you could have done right there. Good stuff on that. The other reason this is a good play, this was an expensive combo. As you can see, when you did it, you start off with 2 bars there. You go into the punish counter combo through drive rush. You're only at about a bar and change. So going into the level 3, I would recommend it. And you use the light DP version. If anyone in the chat doesn't know this with parry, when you do this combo, you want to end it with the light DP into level 3, because the first hit of that does more damage than the first hit of the heavy punch DP. So if you were to cancel one, you also want to cancel the one that does more damage. Lower the game volume a bit. I'm gonna hire you, Lemmings. I'm telling you. Okay, yes. Everyone's worst nightmare. You got hit by a wake up level 3. It's gonna happen. You could take the risk because you had the health bar, but in the 3rd round, you might want to just say in the future that, hey, what's the one thing he can do that can kind of swing things in his favor? And it's going to be a wake up level 3. So maybe this would be the time to chill. And obviously, we're not psychics. We don't know when our opponents are going to do it. But like everything, sometimes you just have to take a bit of a, you know, step back just to see if that risk was worth it. But you closed it out good. You stayed on that Ken like glue in that game. And normally Ken players want to stay on you like glue, so sometimes flipping the script around and throwing it on them, you know, it does benefit you as well. And now I'll do one that you lost. And if anyone else has any replays, I can definitely check. You never have to hire me, bro. I'll do these replays for free. This is one thing. If anyone watches these videos in the future, you can hold me to it. I am never going to charge for replay reviews or anything. I made this channel strictly to help people with things that we love. We love fighting games. You're going to come here to watch. I'm not saying that other streamers that, you know, will charge for it, that they're doing something wrong. That's their business model. I just want to help you all out. So send me anything. I'm happy to help. And now I'm going to go into a loss. So let's go into Aki. Everyone's most hated character. I hate fighting Akis, but let's do it. Yeah, Big Punk, I got you, man. Just send me either your user IDs or your replays. I'll check them. I got Lemmings in this one. I'm going to do for sure. I think there's another one earlier that I'm going to do as well. But if you have, I got you. Thunders, am I going to make videos on Sagat? This channel is going to be 50-50 Terry and Sagat from that point on. I love Sagat, so there are going to be tons of Sagat videos. Alright, over here, anytime you knock an opponent out of the air with Terry and you get this forced knockdown, you're going to want to practice this with everybody. Because there's so many characters that will have this forced knockdown option. If you knock Akuma out of the air, like if he's doing Demon Flip, it'll go into this. If you jab Dalsum out of the air from his teleports, it'll go into this state. Like anyone that has those weird, you know, specials in the air. Yeah, I am from Canada, man. Anyone that gets these weird specials in the air and you get that forced knockdown, there's a follow-up. You can do things like DPs. You could do burning knuckles. Like this will work, like depending on the range. And you can cancel those into level 3. So there's so many different things you could do. Sometimes drive rushing forward is another option. Like if you had, let's just say, a level 3 in stock, you can do like a drive rush into the jab into like the medium tackle and then do the level 2. Just work on all the different force knockdown opportunities that you get and then go into replay takeover for sure and then come up with better situations. Because the more you do this, I swear, I know it's going to sound like it's so cliche, but the more you do it, the more muscle memory you build to this. And when you see this, it just becomes second nature. Like, oh, I knocked someone out of the air. I know I can do some crazy follow-ups. So just work on that. Never let them get away with this free damage. You're Saga mans, eh? Don't worry, we got respect for the Saga side, okay? Let's go on with this. Aki is a character, so this is beyond Terry. Anyone that fights an Aki, you have to stick on her like glue when she's waking up. Her wake up options are pretty ass compared to everybody else. But if you can work on some option selects or just know that you can throw her out of that, you know, stupid snake shimmy thing that she does, please don't get that. The snake shimmy can be grabbed out. It's kind of like Abel's roll from Street Fighter 4. And then you want to make sure you throw her back in the corner. So if you assume that she's going to go behind you, throw it the other way. One way you can practice that is just go into replay mode and work on that timing. Over here, you just got hit by some Aki stuff. It's going to happen. But Aki is one of those characters, like many people, they're just going to want to try to open you up with some frame traps. In this situation, it happened. You got hit by some frame traps in round 1. Obviously, know in the future, maybe you can parry some of those, block some of those. But just know, some of their main gameplays are going to be just trying to open you up with some high lows and then some frame traps. So over here, if in chance, you know, this combo's blocked, in this situation, you actually did the right call, I would say. Because if you were to, let's just say, do the EX cancel out of it, the OD drive rush out of it, you would then go into burnout. So you made the right decision by not canceling there. And the Aki would have to acknowledge to, you know, jab carry out of the air. But in that situation, you made the right call. So in this matchup in particular, if you ever watch Kentio or these other high-level Terrys play, anytime you see an Aki throw out a EX bubble, obviously so many Akis just want to do the EX bubble and then run behind it. They challenge it with a light punch power wave. The reason they do that is the fact that the light punch power wave goes under the fireball. It stops Aki's pressure. So yes, you might get hit on this, you know, if she does a faster one. but she's not drive rushing after that. So this actually lets Terry slow it down a bit, and she's too far to, you know, go into that drill attack or to jump over. So if you see a bubble or an EX bubble, maybe sometimes challenge it with a light power wave. Should I buy Terry right now or wait for fighters? Honestly, it's up to you. It kind of sucks that like the characters are as pricey as they are, but honestly, if he fits in your budget and you have fun with these types of like unorthodox Shoto archetypes, he's definitely worth it. But honestly, brother, stick to your budget, do what works best for you, and if Terry's in your line, go for it. So over here, when your opponents are burnt out with Terry, or when your opponent is burnt out, I like to abuse them with things like a fireball into a drive rush, and then you're able to close the space and then kind of see what they're going to do. I saw that you want to try to get some, you know, string pressure with the crack shoots and whatnot. But when they're burnt out, throw some fireballs out, because they have to make a decision then. They might just take the chip, they might want to block, they might want to jump over it, but you're gaining information and you're actually pushing the initiative in that situation. So Aki matchup, it's tough. Not too many people play her, so I get it. But if you do need some help with some Aki matchups, message me like on one of the posts that I make. I know tons of great Aki players, and I can try to find out some of the secrets of, you know, how to beat that sauce. All right, so I can do a couple more replays. I'm here until around like 6:15, 6:20, so no rush, anybody. And if I don't get them today, I promise I will try my best to get to them in the future. I hope you did find that helpful, buddy. And if you couldn't watch right now and you're going to watch after, I honestly do hope that helped you. Just scale it back a little sometimes on like the drive impacts and just play the waiting game a bit more. But there's tons of things you did right. You did more right than wrong, so let's just say that. All right, I'm just going through the chat right now. Sorry, guys, if I'm missing anything. Thank you to everyone that's commented on the channel. We all love fighting games. We all want to get better. So if I help y'all with that, that makes me a happy camper. And let's just see. I think Lemming said you wanted some replay reviews as well. So let me see if I can get you. The Lemmings. Okay. Let's see. And if... Where's my Saga brother over here? How are you liking the heat wave in Ontario right now, man? Nah, I know a lot of people are having a lot of AC issues. So hopefully you're not one of them. Do not mess up this typing. Let's see. All right. We'll do some wins and we'll do some losses. So at first, you play Terry, Luke, and Manon. Okay. So you got a good, you know, wide array of characters there. Exactly. Terry's together, we strong. As long as Terry boys stick together, and you still have some room for my boy Sagat when he drops, then we're going to make this. I got your videos after this as well. Don't worry. Hope I say your name right. Surinus, I got you, okay? And Big Punk, I got you too if you need as well. So let's start with a win. Let's start off with this win that you got against Luke. Whoa, from France? Lemmings from France? Alright. Maybe I should have learned more French in my high school days up here in Canada, but I won't embarrass anyone with my French speaking. Alright, so one thing about Luke, he's one of the characters that, not so much in this patch, but he would have been really annoying for Terry to fight in like Season 1 where he was a bit better. But his fireball is kind of annoying. Okay, over here, I said the same thing earlier when I was doing the replays with Allison, is that yes, you got caught here with the drive impact, but it's okay because when you're playing ranked, sometimes you have to see if your opponent is able to check this. Right now, you saw your opponent was able to check it, so in the future, you're going to say, you know what? Maybe I'm not going to go for that. I know he can punish it. Great punish over here. There's really two things you can do in a situation like this. You either go for damage or you go for positioning. And positioning in this situation is better because not only was it a perfect parry, you're not going to get that much damage off of it, but you put Luke in the corner, and now you can try to pressure him a bit more. So in this situation, again, this is going to happen. This is regular Street Fighter 6. Only thing I would say is maybe sit in the corner a bit more. Over here, within like 2-3 seconds, you jump over, which still might not be a bad play. If you clipped him with this, you know, you get him with a nice combo, set him far. It just in this situation, the risk versus reward didn't work out. Maybe in the future, try to keep him in the corner, maybe for another 4 or 5 seconds before you go for an attempt like this. Now Luke hits you. I don't blame anyone for getting hit by driving back in the corner. Online, it's gonna hit people. Good combo over here. I like ending it in the Buster Wolf because... Oh, let's see what happens here. Okay, good block over here. I like ending it in the Buster Wolf because this gives you some time to think about your next situation. You're low on drive bar, so you're actually able to, you know, have that situation to be like, okay, what's my next plan of attack? Do I want to push? Do I want to put myself in burnout? What I would do in the future, though, is I would go into this situation and go into replay control when they activate their super. See if, I know you have low drive bar, see if you can actually perfect parry this or parry it all. And that way, you'll build the drive bar back. Yeah, see? That might be a better option as to blocking it. And I know in that situation, you probably made the right call because you didn't want to go burnt out in a ranked match. But in the future, just go and say, hey, if I have a bit more than half my drive bar, I can actually parry this. And then I don't have to worry about, you know, eating more drive damage after with the, you know, blocking this. And then you go with the combo that you want. Obviously, you're not going to miss it like I did there, like a scrub. But you're going to know that, hey, he just recharged my batteries a bit. Maybe I'm going to go for, you know, big ending kill right there. So over here, still blocking, nothing wrong with it. You get some drive bar back. And even further to that, you can also work on different combos that you could have done in this situation that don't involve drive rush after. It might be tough, but let's see if something is possible. So if you're to, let's just say, perfect parry all this, and I walk up, yeah, I still get the punish counter off of something like that. I can probably still do the hard kick like that. So just work on things like that, and you're definitely going to be able to sneak out a bit more wins because you're going to get some more damage. Hey Hardeep, how are you, man? Yeah, Heat Wave is killing us all, and good ranks with a lot of players, man. So over here, I gotta give credit to the Luke player. He hunted you down here, and then he went for a situation where he was going to be able to drive impact you in the wall. Maybe one thing you can practice here, if this is not a meaty drive impact, you might be able to grab it, but it's still worth going into replay takeover and seeing if you can grab him. I don't think you can because I do think he hit a meaty. But see, in that situation you can. So you never want to take a free drive impact unless a drive impact is super meaty or it's followed by a drive rush. It's not always a checkmate. So you want to make sure that in this situation that, hey, look, I can grab this out, or I can match super and, you know, hit him with, oh, do I have a Buster Roll here? Let's see if a Buster Roll will come up and match it up. Yeah. So not every drive impact is a free checkmate. You just want to do this for your own knowledge check. So yes, you can grab him. Yes, you can do a super. I hope that was helpful. So let's go on. Ooh, Luke, we don't want him to win. Yeah, Big Punk, you do want to bait supers for the most time, unless it's Zangief's level 3, then you don't want to parry that bad boy. So yeah, now, again, Luke was playing bully ball. I don't blame him, but another thing you can do in this situation, you just want to see if this was fake or not. Practice 2 things. 1, can you mash super out of this? So if I can get that crouch short out, that means I could definitely get a super out. If my fingers aren't so fat and I'm trying to do this on the fly. There. Maybe I shouldn't freeze it so early in the thing. But see, you can get a super off. And if I can get a super, maybe I can get another throw off. So you want to make sure that they're not hitting you with fake checkmates over there. And sorry if my execution's a bit off. I'm playing on mute because of all the echoing. That's just an excuse for me missing those, by the way. I'm ass. Alright, Luke wins. That's bad. We don't like Luke on this channel. I'm just joking. It's alright. Yeah, Hardeep, that's a big thing. You know, a lot of players, myself included, even when we win, we should go into replay takeover after just to see. Like, all the top pros and legends are doing that, but we still, you know, just want to go to the next one because, you know, we're short on time. We got to go do some stuff after. You know, not all of us are going to be pro players, so I get how that is too. All right, over here. Yes, you could have done quote-unquote more damage here, but to me, this is still a great combo to do. The most important thing is you're not just wasting damage. A combo doesn't have to be completely optimal, but the fact that you're still getting good damage over here. After the Fierce Punch DP, I'm sure you know this, but if another Terry player wants to know, after this combo and you hit them with a Fierce Punch DP, if you dash forward and hit Crouch Medium Punch, that's +2 on block now, so it's your turn again. Or you can, you know, walk forward and try to get them with a tech or a frame trap. So over here, he actually hits jab after. So let's just see if this will work with a frame trap like this. So that won't work, but if I'm to hit him with a jab, that might work because it'll be my turn. Or it'll trade. So it shouldn't trade because you're +2, but just know after the dash forward, crouch medium punch, you will be plus. But over here, good corner pressure. You keep him in the corner. Yeah, you're walking back a bit. Ideally, we do anti-air those, but it's going to happen. You're not going to be able to anti-air everything. But one thing I do recommend people do when you do replay takeover, the number one thing to do is just open up your phone, have like a notes tab on your computer, and just make like a check every time you miss an anti-air. If you notice you miss like 6 anti-airs a game, like 10 anti-airs a game, that might be something that you want to focus on. Yeah, Lemmings, it's +2 after a dash forward. If you watch one of my setup videos, I have it covered. Like, there's plenty more setups as well. So try to implement that as well. And again, did he hit you with a real one here or a fake one? Let's see. Oh, if he hits you with that, it's likely fake. But we'll do it. This Luke player, credit to him because you didn't stop him yet. But he's hitting you with a lot of fake DIs. Just again, go into training. I'm sure you can match level 3 out of this, like no matter what. Yeah, see? You can do a DP into level 3, a jab into level 3. If you have level 2, it's easier to do like a backwards motion. Let's see if you can grab him again. Yeah, like, don't let him get you these fake DIs in the future. Yeah, I actually like that some of the combos are not frame perfect, Hardeep, because to me, I kind of like, sometimes you have to just feel if something is right, just because I'm like one of the older guys who used to play the old game, so I was kind of more into that. But I like mixing up some of like the ones that are true and then some of the ones that don't feel true. All right, Lemmings, I'll do one more, then I can do 2 more replays, maybe 3, then I gotta head off and do dad stuff, which is never fun. I mean, it's okay. It's fun being a dad. Let's do a win here. We gotta end on a good note, okay? A win versus DJ. No, DJ won? We ain't doing that video. Alright, we'll do a win versus... Oh, you're playing Jamie as well. I can't tell you much about Jamie. I'm still happy to watch your Jamie replays if you need. I do know some strong Jamie players as well. So if you have any questions about characters that aren't Terry or Ed or Maritza, who I used to play, I can get info for y'all no matter what. Dad stuff is all done, you lucky guy. Stop rubbing it in. And now you're probably too tired to do anything else, because that's how the dad vortex works. Alright, great combo there. Yeah, you missed the drop with the extension, but that happens online. Sometimes it might be best to see if, you know, there's a better combo to do over here. Like, if in this game, if you get a jump in medium attack or anything, especially if it's punish counter, you're so plus. It's not like the older fighting games where you had to go into a jab. Like, you might even be able to get a crouch fierce into this, like, if your timing is good. So if you get a crouch fierce, you can just go into like this variation and it does more damage, more corner carry, less bar, but that's just something you can keep in your mind. Again, it's not like you picked a bad option. You still did good damage and carried her pretty far. But just work on what else is available. And that's the biggest thing. If anyone's watching this video and thinks you always have to do things that are optimal, that's not the case at all. You just gotta do things that work. brand new completely sucks. Like you're a new dad. I remember how that life was. Alright, keep going. Yeah, great call, big punch. Anytime you get a punish counter jump in, it's time for that big boy damage. Okay, we just got clipped by the Street Fighter 4. Not many of us are blocking driverless grabs. Alright, you gambled here. Nothing wrong with that. You know, it's going to happen. In this situation, though, if you're going to gamble, either go with the OD uppercut here or a level 1. The reason I say that is because Elena does not have a fireball like animation, so she doesn't throw fireballs. That means a level 1 won't get beat on wake up. So here, you can save 1 bar and go for the level 1 as opposed to doing the level 2. Now, if like a Ryu or a Ken player threw a fireball in your face, then a level 1 wouldn't work and the level 2 would blow through that. So that's just a resource management situation there. And again, people will see that and be like, oh, he did a wake up move. Every time Daigo does a wake up move, everyone thinks it's a genius play, but the rest of the time we do it, it's a bad play. No, it doesn't work like that. Street Fighter fighting games, it's all risk versus reward. You took a risk that didn't pay out. You're going to learn from it next time. There, you got very lucky your opponent didn't combo that. But this is a combo that I find online, sometimes I do drop it. That delay from the medium punch to stand jab has some awkward timing sometimes, and I feel that, you know, I do drop that in rank from time to time as well. Right, you risk it again, and it happens. With Street Fighter 6, sometimes you gotta say, get off me, you know? Now let's see how you handle the corner. Elena is actually one of the most annoying corner characters I find, just because she's so new and like she's just weird the way that she attacks. So I always feel that you know, you really don't know what she's capable in the corner yet. All right, I respect this. Good. In Burnout, I should learn from you here. When I'm in Burnout, I'm like an old school zoner player. Like I gotta move back. Sometimes it's good to stay in their face. Like just because you're in Burnout doesn't mean you can't fight. Good that you stuck on her. Like ooh, you took the, you know, the offense to her, and that made her probably surprised too. Like what the hell, this person's not backing up for me. So just because you're burnt out doesn't mean that you gotta just drop the stick. All right, she's doing that kick that I know nothing about. Good punish counter, throw backwards. Good, nice and slow approach this game. Sometimes when you play nice and slow, it really makes you feel like you're in control. And you dropped a combo there, it happens. You know you gotta do the fierce punch DP after. You really want me spending a lot of time on that, you know. Good, call her out again. You have the life lead, so you can take risks like this, but just remember, if your risk is wrong here, you know, she's got a lot of bar to work with. She might make you pay big for that one, but it worked out. Good throw. Nice bait. If she did like a parry on that, you might be able to get another one off. Over here, yes, you drop the combo. Just do replay takeover again and make sure you just hammer home 5 times in a row a burning knuckle after this. Something to seal the deal, just to get that muscle memory built in. Send her away. Now you take the fight to her. In this situation, I'm going to give you something that, let's see if you do it actually. But there's a tip that Justin Wong always gives in a situation like this. And you did it! He says when your opponent has like a pixel of health left, don't worry about the fierce kick or the medium punches. Work on your buttons that are the fastest. So 5-frame light, 4-frame jab. They're going to get the kills and they come out so fast. And what happened? The jab killed her. So if your opponent's low on health and you can get the touch of death with a jab or a light kick, focus on that. I hope that was helpful, Lemmings. Again, join my chat whenever. Next time I'm going to have more time. I'll try to stick around for like 2-3 hours, play with people if they want as well. And then we can definitely do some more things. Come cheap that way. Cheap is good, man. What did Tommy Wiseau say in the room? Cheap is good. All right. Now I'm going to hit up Surinus. I hope I'm saying your name right. Honestly, when I see YouTube names, my educational brain and my YouTube brain do not like work well together. I can never read gamer tags or see if they're memes or anything like that. Anytime, man. Don't worry about it. And I definitely should be carrying some water with me while I do this. So much talking. Which I'm good at. I am the youngest sibling in my family, so you know, we just can talk for days and days and no one can ever tell us to shut the hell up. Because we won't listen, of course. And if anyone wants to send their replays, I can do maybe one more, and then I'm going to definitely hit up the replay video for Arceus, who mentioned earlier, and then he can watch that in video demand after. I'm like Forrest Gump, I don't read so good, you know? Alright. Let's start off with everyone's favorite Shoto these days, Ryu. Let's see how this Ryu match goes. Also, thanks for everyone in the chat being nice to each other. To me, that's the biggest thing. We're all trying to learn here. No one be a douche to anybody, and I'm happy to say no one has done that so far. Alright, so far, I will say you picked the Lakers carry, so I respect it. I hope you're a Lakers fan. I'm not a Lakers fan, but I still have respect for the team. Over here, standard stuff. Because you got burnt out, you might want to ask why you got burnt out here. So yeah, you did a ODDP. It worked, so nothing wrong with that. And then in this situation, your opponent just burns you out by like working on the meter you have left. This is actually very hard to learn. So don't think you have to learn it in one day. But keep in mind, a lot of opponents in this game, they're going to neutral jump on your wake up when either you're burnt out, you're in the corner, you have low drive bar like this because they know that, hey, if they block this, they're going to be in burnout anyways. Go into training mode, go into replay takeover, and work on two things. The first is just work on them jumping and you being able to do like a crouch fierce and seeing if this will knock them out of the air. So this did work as an anti-air that time I traded, but just get this muscle memory going that, hey, if they jump, I still have like a crouch fierce great anti-air available to knock them out of it. And then slowly start working in the timing to do the light punch DP. And I know if you're gonna practice this and then you play a real game, it doesn't work out. We're not trying to be the best player we can the day after we learn something. This is just muscle memory that we have to put in to say that, hey, you know, my opponent jumps up, I'm gonna trigger something in my brain, and you know what? There are options to me. And in this case, I have at least two options that I know will clear this. Hey, I like that floor is lava game from time to time, especially Street Fighter 6. I feel like that's the only way I can win. I know what you mean though. It's hard to play in a rhythm when people jump a lot, so it's one of those things you just gotta be prepared for. So let's go on to the replay. Did I do this all correctly? I think I'm still in replay control. Yes, I am. That's how much of a noob I am. Alright, now, good on you for staying close to Ryu, because he wants to run away so he can hit you with some fireballs. You took a risk for going with a jump. It's going to happen. But in this situation, if I can go back to this round, biggest thing you have to remember when you're burnt out and you're trying to chase down an opponent, look how much bar they have. When he goes to this much bar, I'm okay to start trading fireballs. Now I wouldn't trade a fireball because your health went low. But if they were to get hit by a punish counter, parry round wave, or power wave, they might go into burnout because they got hit by a punish counter. So you want to look at that. Alright, you got hit by the Street Fighter 6. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with a get off me either. So as mentioned earlier, I said maybe go into like a note or put on your phone about how many anti-airs you missed, and then you might want to say that, hey, anti-airs is something that I got to focus on more. So yeah, this round didn't go the best. I'm not gonna, like, we all know, like, you saw it, you know you can improve on this as well. Sometimes this is just Street Fighter 6 stuff that's gonna happen to you. Drive, rush, grab. It's gonna work at every single level, legend to wood, or whatever the lowest level is. But you have to tell yourself, where am I letting my opponent get extra damage? There, I ate that jump in. Maybe I gotta work on that drill where I work on my crouch fierce timing or things like that. You just have to say that, hey, He jumped. I'm losing a lot of damage to jump ins. Can I use crouch fears here? No, that's gonna lose to the anti-air. Or maybe I can walk backwards and do like a jump back jab. There are going to be options available, or you just walk out of the way. But try not to be, you know, let jumps get in that much. And you know what? In other videos, you might be way better on jump ins. It just may have been that game where the jump ins are working more effectively on you. So you just want to make sure that you cover those anti-airs. And then I'll do one that you won, because winning is good too, you. And we got to feel good about our wins. Let's go over our boy Ed. I can also tell you some matchup stuff with Ed because I used to play him a lot. Don't worry, Scoob. I'll be on more during the summer. I got you covered, okay?
Let's go. Bring the bell.
I know you mentioned in my chat that you're a big Cammy hentai lover, so I'll definitely give you some Cammy videos, okay? Please don't share any of your pictures in this chat. Thank you. All right, over here, medium burning knuckle. Good call on the drive rush. All right, solid combo. This is a great combo. I know people look at this and say, hey, it can be a bit more optimal, but I wouldn't ask you to change anything on this play, because sometimes you just got to follow the rhythm of your heart. And I know that's going to sound so stupid, lame, and cliche, but if it feels good to do in the heart of the battle, and it's still moving your opponent to the corner, and it's still doing decent damage, go for it. So no issues with that combo. If you do want to practice, you know, more optimal routes, you can do that, but I don't have an issue with you going that route. All right, pressure Ed with some jabs. So in this situation, I wouldn't let Ed be that comfortable moving back, because if Ed gets you in the corner in this game, like many characters, like he's a very scary opponent in the corner. So try to stand in an area where you're not giving them, you know, all that corner back, but you're still able to, you know, stand your ground a little. So over here, this is just the old zoner in me coming back, you know, a Sagat guy. I would trade light punch fireballs with this all day. It's Ed that can't afford to take the hit. Look at your health bar. I can take as many hits as I want. You know, like, I got way more health than you. I'll throw this out so you can't throw out another one. If you do throw it out, it's going to clip you like that. They have to respect your time and space on that. So don't let Eds go crazy with, you know, just throwing this out when they have no health. Challenge it with yourself, and if they want to be, you know, sneaky and throw a quick one after that, they're going to be the ones that eat the punishment. So again, I know you want to play it cool. Another thing you can do in this situation, you know, if you want to just play it cool and you don't want to take the risk, you're in control here. You have the drive bar lead. You have the health lead. Do an OD version if, you know, you don't get clipped like I did. And maybe if he does the fast one, it won't work. Yeah, then follow behind it with the drive rush. If he jumps it, you can hit him with a DP. You can hit him with like an air-to-air. You can hit him with a crouch fear. But the options are there for you. So sometimes you got to take control of the situations when the resources are in your favor. But it looks good in the Lakers Terry. I gotta say, everything's looking good. That swag combo with this costume is perfect. If you are a Lakers fan, who's your favorite Laker all time? Let me hear it in the chat. Or if you hate the Lakers, who's your most hated Laker?
All right. You down for one more?
Anytime, Hardeep. Thanks for dropping by, man. For sure, man. Let me know if you have a player ID. Just drop it in, like one of the posts I make. I'm happy to play with anybody, brother. Right over here, you got hit by a DI. It happened. Sometimes your opponent can check those, sometimes they can't, and now you learn. All right, in that situation, it's good to parry. You get your bar back. Okay, here your opponent actually had good reactions on that. Some people may have got hit by this. They did not. If a Terry is watching in this video, if you're not going to burn yourself out, the only way to be safe after this version of the target combo on block is to drive rush after. So if I'm to drive rush after out of this, and maybe not mash it out so I get the medium kick. So the controls are still, unless I think I'm in slow-mo now. I gotta end this. Go out of slow-mo. I will get better with this replay takeover control eventually. So over here, You should just be able to drive rush out of this if the game wants to let me do it or not. I think it's just remembering my inputs now. Then you can block it or do a super or something like that. But you don't have to, you know, commit to like an attack there. You can actually drive rush out of it. So over here you get clipped. He sends you back to the corner. Now your opponent wastes all of his bar, which means you can go into a situation. So over here, yes, this is what you want to do. You want to go into the crack shoot loops. He could level 1 you through some of these or do an uppercut, but it's still annoying. And that is where you have to work on, not just you, like all of us have to do it. You have to do a drive rush attack into a wall splat. So heavy, do like a crouch medium punch or a stand fierce to get that heavy, like super plus frames on the grab impact. So over there he was able to grab you, but let's just see if you do. Let's just see, does he grab you over here? Yeah, so he grabbed you because it wasn't like super tight. So in this situation, if you do, let's just say a drive rush into a fierce into that, they're likely not going to be able to do it. So there, they weren't able to grab you. They get locked, but hey, they weren't in that situation where they're going to be able to end all your pressure. So over here you get grabbed. It's kind of a tough spot to be, but he doesn't have, you know, drive impact. And again, I know we want to try to get them as much as we can with the drive impact, but try to just work on that annoying chip damage that you're doing before, because not only is it a really good chip, it does a lot of like corner push. You're able to push them into the corner as well. Big Punk, thanks for covering all this, man. It definitely helps people in the chat when people post more tech or just advice. So thanks a lot, brother. Alright, stay in that zone. You don't want to go too far back. Alright, it worked there. Oh, okay, yeah. Again, that might just be an online thing, you know. You thought you got the hit off and then you want to go for the hit confirm. And again, I think for you, the biggest thing, if you just work on anti-airs a bit more, like go into training mode, do some anti-air practice, you're going to shoot up in MR. That's guaranteed, because there's so many parts of this game where you're playing really well. You're playing incredible. Your spacing is good. You're sticking in their face at the right times. You're pursuing them like this at the right time. You just don't want to give them free, you know, jump ins and getting damage on you. And look, you got these swag combos unlocked. Like, there's so much good going for you. It's just, you don't want it to fall off the wheel just because we don't know the answer. So, good replay. Swagged on the set, even though Seth did a lot of good stuff himself. Well, you know we cheer for Terry in this chat. So, good stuff, man. I hope I was able to help a little. Magic Johnson is the best Laker, 100%. Shaq was my favorite Laker, but someone said Magic Johnson was the best. How can I complain? How can I argue? And he was the best at having so many people scared of him in the 90s as well. So this was the videos. This was a gamertag sent to me from someone that saw my post on this. So I told him I would go through some of his videos with Terry. I think he said he was a Pakistani Terry. No, I saw his flag earlier and he was a Pakistani Terry. So if I got fans everywhere, that's pretty awesome. So let's see. Where are some of these Terry videos? Alright. We'll start off with a win. We'll do Terry versus Rashid. Everyone likes to see a Rashid lose, right? I'm not wrong on that, am I? He did have a Magic Johnson. I got him into some issues, apparently. But that stuff is over, don't worry. Alright, Terry versus Rashid. I really don't know how I feel about this matchup because I honestly don't know that many Rashids. I know there's some really strong players out there, obviously. But, alright, so RC, that's a great follow-up with the jab combos. Over here, this is just the Rashid mix, but if I look at your inputs over here, I can see that you're doing a light punch DP to uppercut through that. That's not going to work. So in this, if you did the EX DP, I think that's going to work because only the EX DPs have invincibility frames in this game. The light punch DPs, for some stupid reason at Capcom, no longer have invincible frames to them. So in that situation, if you want to check them, you got to do the OD version. And here, it's just Rashid stuff. His combos go on forever, and I think when a character has combos that go on for a long time, they really weigh on you as well. So. Okay, good. Cancel into that drive rush. That made it safe. And over here, I see that you're trying to get the OD uppercut. Okay, it worked in that situation. You're sticking on him like glue. And over here, honestly, this is the only thing, so far in your match, this is the only thing I would say cut back a little bit on. The heavy version of the Burning Knuckle is very negative at this range. So he can hit you with any combo in that situation. If you're ever in a situation where your opponent has like such low health like this, Terry's best bet is going to be some type of sneaky high-low mix-up. You know, a lot of players, they'll walk back and then do a light kick into a, medium kick into a light kick crack shoot. Just because it's quick and it'll get the job done. Or they'll do a situation where they'll go up close and do like a jab into like the crouch fierce. And then you'll get like 2 crouch fierces off. You want to try to get into a high-low situation and then see if you can do something after that. Or if you get the crouch fierce off here, or crouch light kick, you might be able to go into like a stand jab into something. So you might want to go for something cheeky just to, you know, get their ankles a bit. But try not to do like the super safe, unsafe, sorry, Burning Knuckles like right on like up.
Burn knuckle. And after a fierce battle,
Big Fun, you're killing me, man.
Round 2.
Spend time with your grannies while you still got them, man. They're God's gifts to us. They don't stay forever, so go enjoy that time, man. All right. So far, good pressure. Stick on him like glue. I will say this. I like that you have your own play style of in your face. Like, if you want to beat me, we both gotta, you know, go balls to the wall here. So I do like that stand. One thing I will say though is there are times where you might just want to slow it down on the defensive approach. So if your opponent is trying to hit you with a block string, maybe either parry that or try to walk out of it or block it instead of always trying to, you know, counter that defense with an offensive option. But over here, you pick the right choice, you get the punish counter throw, and you go up. Miguel King James, I want to say he's the best Laker, but he is the best player who ever played for that franchise in terms of how good he is. So career-wise, I don't know if I can say that. And no, I'm not a LeBron fan, but we can never start that narrative. Otherwise, I will end my chat. I will destroy my YouTube channel forever. If someone called me a LeBron guy. Alright, more Rashid stuff. What can you do? See, this is that level of patience that I'm talking about. You just waited it out. And over here, in this situation, in future reference, this is for anybody in the chat. Anytime your opponent does something like this, it's just fun to go into replay takeover and see what combos you can come up with. Maybe I want to do a drive rush, you know, fierce kick to go into, you know, like a meterless target combo from this point, right? Maybe I want to go into something like a crouch fierce combo. See which combos work best. You could easily get the kill here as well. Like, I'm sure maybe, you know, on mute it might be a bit harder, but if I just go into, you know, the crouch fierce into something like this, into like the DP version. Again, sorry for the execution. Like I said, when you're playing on mute, it's actually a lot harder to do this stuff than I thought it would be. Once I figure out these audio issues, and I don't have to do it on mute, yeah, it's even a basic combo like there kills. Work on different ways you can kill, what takes off less meter to kill, and it's just fun to make Rashid a punching bag in these situations. You know? Just go for it. Alright, so let's go into the next replay. And then I gotta head off. But this has been an awesome stream so far. I just love that people actually come out, they give tips, they give advice, they help me with my technical problems. So everyone's been amazing. And let's go to a loss here. This will be a common theme because tons of people lose to my... I will say your Pakistan flag always reminds me of two things. One, my family, like long, hundreds of years ago, they're originally from the Pakistan side of the India border. So before partition, they lived there. Then they came over to the India side. Before we came to Canada, eh? So over here, every Terry does this. We're all guilty. Start the round off with a burning knuckle. My recommendation is don't do the fierce punch version. Do either the medium punch version or a drive rush into the medium punch version. The drive rush will give you time to see if your opponent jumps. Then you can come up with a different option. And it'll make it more safe if they're to block it. Alright, so Terry versus Mai, honestly, I don't think he struggles against her as much as other people because his light punch power wave goes under the fan. But he still has to deal with the OD fan pressure just like everybody else. So that's something that's only going to happen through practice. So in this situation, your 2 hits of the Fierce got clipped out of that. I actually wonder if you have enough time here to mash out a DP in the future to say that, hey, this will give me that 3rd hit off, and then I will be able to cancel out of it. So let's just see if I go back. Let's end control, so it's a bit further back. Because as we know, it takes 3 hits to cancel out of something, so switch to player control. Yeah, on the 3rd hit, you can cancel out and say, you know what, I have enough time to hit her with DP out of this, if, you know, the timing's not bad like mine did. So work on that timing as well. And obviously if it cancels into a super, you'll be able to do a super in that situation too. And if you have a level 3 on stock, that might just win you the game. What's up, Asar Zay? I am streaming today, but I gotta run soon. But thank you for dropping by. Lemmings, I live by Fierce Punch Burning Knuckle too. I love it too much. I just love that he sticks his hands out like old school. And then he says, here I come, here I go. So over here, you're gonna know, watching this, you're just leaving damage on the table here. So just work on situations where your opponent lands, hit them with combos that are meterless, hit them with combos that are very expensive meter-wise, just so you build the muscle memory as to, you know, what's possible in those situations. You just got hit by level 1 there, it happens. And now you're in the corner. It's a bit risky because Mai in the corner is arguably the best character in the game. And she might make you pay for it here. Ah, actually not. Let's see how you get out of this. Good crack shoot pressure. You just want to hit her with some crack shoot pressure. Now that burning knuckle is better because it actually is safe on block at that distance. And she's burnt out. And she got you with the wake up super. It's gonna happen. That's some of their only defensive options when they're burnt out. But in this situation again, I would just work on my anti-airs a bit and just work on 2 things for you. Pressure when they're burnt out and max damage combos, or just more damage combos. When a person misses a DP in your face, you know, they whip a super, what can you do to punish them? You implement things like that and you're going to shoot up the platinum ranks for sure, because 1, you're not leaving damage on the table and you're increasing your space control. So I would recommend to you work on those 2 things, but I promise I will look at some more of your replays in the future because we're going to get you out of platinum. You're going to move higher and higher, I promise you that, and we're going to get you where you want to get to, okay? So keep sending me stuff, tell me things that you want to work on, and I might just make videos and just post them unlisted and send them to you guys, okay? So I got you all covered in that. Anyways, everyone, that's the stream for today. I gotta head out. Next time I'll be able to stay on a lot longer. I'm leaving y'all with this Thirst Trap Mai picture. That's how nice of a human being I am. Just don't look at it too long, you know, people might think you're weird. So peace out. I'll work on the echoing. Thank you, Lemmings, for all the advice on, you know, what I can be changing or what's not working instead of making everyone else be tortured with it. Peace out. I'll do some more in the future, and, you know, we got this. And thank you for the nice words on the way out. I'm glad I'm one of your favorite streamers, streaming Terry. I hope I'm one of your favorite Sagat streamers when he comes out too. But everyone, and I know this is going to sound like a guy that's just simping for his chat or simping for his subscribers, but everyone has been so kind and friendly that I want to help y'all. That's why I'm never going to charge you for these replay reviews. Nothing like that. We're boys. We're going to help each other. We're going to get better with Terry and Sagat in the future. So peace out, everyone, and I'll catch you on the next stream.